Welcome to the Church of Mabus radio show. It's Friday night, 7:08 p.m. Central. You're listening to United Public Radio, 107.7 FM, New Orleans. And I always got to plug this stuff. I almost forgot. Ozark Mountain UFO Conference, April 8th to the 10th, 2022. Best western end of the Ozarks, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. You can go to the YouTube channel, UFO Paranormal Radio, and you can go to UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials. That's another channel from the network. We're on UPRN, Twitch, and Twitter, iTunes, SoundCloud, and iHeart. Also, check out bestfriends.org. It's a way to donate to help animals and no-kill shelter. So check that out. Try to throw that one in there, even though I haven't really spoke to them at all. I just figured I'd do it for the fur, feather, and fins representing. So you got Wham here with us tonight. How's it going, Wham?
Oh, it's going.
It's going for sure. And let's see. First thing I want to just say one thing. I just watched the Arnold Schwarzenegger speech about Ukraine, and of course I agree with him. It was a good little 9-minute segment about him just addressing and revealing the truth about all that. But I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to get to the guest, and we will. But I've been seeing some really disturbing things in the paranormal and UFO communities, and that's, some right-wing conspiracy sites. And I know there's disturbing things on the left and right, so I'm not saying there's not. But one of the things I've been seeing is I saw James Gilliand, the guy from East Eddy Ranch, in a newsletter that he puts out. And this is a place you go and you can see UFOs. I've never been there. It sounds interesting. I don't know the guy from Adam, but I get his newsletter. In it, he was saying Putin's taking out the trash. And basically, there are people in the right-wing circles that I see it before it's news in different places and different, conspiracy platforms, that they're spinning this all into Putin's a hero in this. He's getting rid of Nazis in the Ukraine. And yeah, there's probably Nazis in the Ukraine. There's Nazis here. Hey, there's probably Nazis in our government from Project Paperclip and all that. We got all those origins and everything. But my point is, I guess there are people who are justifying him doing this to them because of Nazis. I mean, they're bombing civilians fleeing and evacuating as he's telling his own citizens that this war is not happening at all. So I guess I'm just trying to psychologically understand how, they spin this into him being a hero. It's just crazy on so many different levels. Everything is. But anyway, I just want to say that, there are Nazis here, so I guess we all deserve to die too because of some KKK dudes. That's kind of like looking at, wherever the country, there's Nazis there. Let's bomb the crap out of it, even if you kill people who aren't Nazis. So it's just crazy trying to understand it all. And of course, the big thing is there's biolabs that are owned by Biden in Ukraine that now they spawn coronavirus. I get to see all this crap all the time. It's insanity. And it's definitely creepy and scary what's happening, and keeping up with it on so many different levels. But if you haven't seen the Arnold speech, look it up. You can just put in his name, it'll come up on YouTube, but it's worth watching for sure. Well, tonight's guest, Micah Dank, good to have you here, man. How you doing?
I'm well, man. How's it going?
It's going. Doing okay. Just hanging out and surviving like everybody else in Florida. We just had a bad storm here that was really bad. And luckily I was like praying. We're going to be talking about the Bible tonight. Don't let the power go off. We're going to be talking about different things, but that was one thing. Luckily it went off and came back on. So that was good. So they got a little nerve wracking there with some thunder and lightning, but it's gone now. And here we are. So it's great to have you here. And so I guess what got you started on this journey of all this spiritual information? Was there a catalyst to it? What was the origin story, so to speak?
So I had moved to I'm from Long Island, New York, and I had moved to Boston in 2012, 2013 for a new job with an ex who I'm no longer with. While we were there, we moved into a really nice place in the gated community, You know, you didn't really know a lot of people there at the time, so she was kind of watching TV a lot, and the iPad had just come out for the first time, so I was kind of on it, going down rabbit holes on YouTube, and I came across something called astrotheology, and it just blew me away. And I realized at that point that that's what I wanted to learn about, that's what I wanted to teach. So I spent the next 10 years studying it. I've written books about it, I have a book series out about it, and I kind of just wanted to share it with you guys and your audience.
Definitely, and tell us what astrotheology is. I mean, I'm sure
It's
it's
the mythology of
complex.
the zodiac. It's the
The myth.
mythology of the zodiac.
Okay, that's definitely fascinating. Uh, and I know a little bit about that kind of stuff, but you probably know a lot more than I do. I'm Capricorn, which is a pretty weird one to be that I'm always trying to understand. And when I hear other people talking about Capricorn, like I will me and Christina watch some of those, those tarot people. Some of them are pretty interesting. One guy goes every time he does it, he's like, "You can ring my bell." He sings that song before he does it every time. It's pretty funny. This hippie guy, but they always refer to Capricorn, some of them, as the devil card. And I'm like, that's not fair. Come on, man, is that what I am just because of my sign? But I've seen so many weird things about Capricorn, just trying to figure it out. One of the weirdest things I've seen, and I'll try to make this PG-13, is Pan supposedly got caught by the gods self-pleasuring and got thrown in the Nile River, and as punishment got a serpentine tail as the dark unconscious. And I keep trying to find that story. I don't know where the hell I read it, but it was somewhere online. But I
Right.
have trouble refinding it. But the whole Capricorn thing, all the signs are interesting. So it's definitely fascinating. But so what? First off, what is your astrological sign?
I'm a Libra.
A Libra, okay. And Wham, what was yours again?
I'm ashamed to say that I'm a Leo.
Okay.
I detest being a Leo.
Okay. All right. And so astrotheology is like tell us a little bit more how myth is involved and where do you get the myths from? What cultures or whatever?
I'm gonna go into it if you'd like me to
Okay.
start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so I start my presentation by saying, and it's probably better if you watch this on YouTube because you'll get the visuals too. It might be slightly difficult to follow if you're just listening, but you could definitely catch it on YouTube or just YouTube my name. I have my own YouTube channel, Micah Dank, where I have all these videos up. But basically, I say employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writing so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. And that's what I'm doing. I put together an hour and a half presentation or an hour and 15-minute presentation where I'm going to give you guys basically the information that I've studied for 10 years, that I've decoded, and that's it. Now, the first thing you have to know about the Bible is it's made up of these are called the seven sciences. Okay, it's metaphysical, astrological, which I'm going to get into, anatomical, alchemical, spiritual, esoteric, and mythology. The Bible is not literal, historical, reality, and it's not even original. It all draws from previous things. So this is the zodiac wheel. This is astrotheology in the Bible. Okay, with Capricorn at the bottom of the wheel and Cancer at the top. Okay, if you see the wheel in any other formation other than this, it's incorrect. This is how the zodiac wheel should look. And it goes back 40,000 years to the Lascaux Caves. The Lascaux Caves are caves in Lascaux, France. That's why they're called the Lascaux Caves, where some teenagers went in, and they went into the back, and when they went into the back, here you see an article saying world's oldest cave paintings show humans understood complex astronomy 40,000 years ago. When they went into the back of the cave, they saw things like this on the wall. Okay? Now the bull on the top, the lion on the right, and the horse at the bottom. So they figured out very quickly that the bull was Taurus, that the lion was Leo, and the horse was Sagittarius. It's just missing the guy with the bow and the arrow. So what they did was they carbon dated the wall, and it came out to about 40,000 years, plus or minus 5,000 years. What they then did was they called in an astrologer with a computer. And with the computer, what they did with the computer program was they rewound the sky back 40,000 years to see what it looked like at that particular location. When they did that, they printed it out and they superimposed it onto the wall, and all the constellations lined up. Okay, so the ancients knew about complex astrology for 40,000 years. Now, there's questions in the Bible that you can ask that don't really make sense unless you understand astrology. How Jesus was able to heal the blind, how he walked on water, how he turned water into wine, why he had 12 disciples, why he was betrayed with a kiss by Judas, why he was dead for 3 days, why is his birthday on December 25th. This is all astrology, and I'm going to explain it to you. So Genesis 1:14 says, "Let lights appear in the sky to separate the day from the night. Let them be signs to mark the seasons, days, and years." And that's what it is. The sign that separates the day from the night is the sun. Okay? And signs to mark the seasons, days, and years, that's the zodiac. Now, what I have to do is I have to teach you guys the 12 signs real quick and teach you code words that each sign has. And then we're going to use those code words to decipher biblical verses from every book. So the first sign I talk about is Aquarius, which is represented by the man with the water pitcher. So whenever you hear words like son of man or man, because it's the sign of the man, baptism, because the man with the water pitcher pouring it out, this is how you baptize someone. Water pitcher, fountain, stream, river, pond, lake, creek. Okay, water bodies, they're using it to explain Aquarius. The same thing with Pisces, which is the two fish in the water. So the first two that I talk about represent bodies of water. And Aries is the ram. And in Aries, you have March 21st, which is the spring equinox. It's a 12-hour day, 12-hour night. It's also the Passover, or the passing over of the sun over the equator, and back on its way to its height in the summer solstice. In Christianity, the Passover is changed, and it's called the resurrection of God's Son, S-U-N, not S-O-N. Okay, Jesus is a solar deity. In Judaism, the Passover is when the angel of death passes over all the Egyptian houses, and anyone that doesn't have the lamb or the ram, Aries is the ram, anyone that doesn't have the lamb or the ram's blood smeared on their doorpost, their firstborn sons die. So whenever you hear ram, lamb, shepherd, or ram's horn, you're talking about Aries. Then Taurus is the bull. And when you look at the sky and you see Taurus during the season where it's supposed to be, you know that you need to put the plow on the bull so that you can plant the seed so you can harvest in Virgo and Libra. So whenever you hear bull, ox, calf, or cow being the female bull, you're talking about Taurus. Gemini is the twins. It's the story of Castor and Pallas Troy, whose sister was Helen of Troy. It's the story of Achilles. So whenever you hear twins or brothers, they're talking about Gemini. Cancer is the crab, and it's the sideways moving creature. Okay? The sun moves sideways in Cancer. So the sun rises a degree on its axis starting on December 25th. On the 26th, it rises another. On the 27th, it rises another. It keeps rising a degree on its axis. The days get longer, the nights get shorter, until it hits June 21st. June 21st is the summer solstice. That's the height. It's the longest day of the year, the shortest night. Then for 3 days, it rises to the same degree, hence the metaphor of moving sideways. Then on June 25th, it lowers a degree. The 26th, it'll lower a degree. The 27th, it'll lower a degree. The days start getting shorter now. Okay? So it does this until it hits December 21st, which is the winter solstice. Okay? That's when the sun doesn't rise above the horizon. They consider the sun dead. The ancients would look at it, it wouldn't rise above the horizon, so they say, oh, the sun must be dead. It walks sideways for 3 days also, just like in Cancer. So suddenly, God's son was dead for 3 days. That's where that comes from. Then on December 25th, it rises an additional degree, and it repeats the pattern. And this is the pattern that the sun does every single year. It rises a degree a day until it's June 21st, walks sideways for 3 days, drops a degree a day, every day, till it hits December 21st, walks sideways for 3 days, and then rises a degree again. Okay, in the ancient times, the crab was known as the scarab. Okay, so anytime you hear crab or beetle, they're talking about Cancer. Leo is the king. He's the lion. He's the king of the jungle. The ruling planet of Leo is actually the sun. So whenever you hear lion, lioness, or cub,
You there?
Something's happened.
Uh-oh.
Something's happened.
I know. What happened? Are you there, Micah? We can't hear you for some reason. I'm not sure if something happened.
There he is.
Are you there?
He's trying to come back.
Yes. I don't know what happened, but for some reason it cut out.
You said
Now I don't hear. I heard you briefly for a moment.
There he is.
I wonder if he knows he's having audio trouble. Can you hear us?
Well, he's not advancing the slides, so.
Okay. For some reason, it's breaking up really bad. I don't know if it's an internet trouble.
Oh,
okay.
Maybe he'll come back.
Okay, I hope so. That was. I said prayers for the Bible show. The storm wouldn't kill it, so I guess they're going to take it out another way. No Bible show tonight. Jeffrey, no.
It sounded like it was on his end. So.
No Bible show tonight. You will not commit this atrocity.
This perfidious blasphemy.
Yes. Of course, there was some. I don't know if you saw those pervert ads somebody was putting in StreamYard. That's the first. Someone was putting pervert ads in the chat room. I had to block them. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen on StreamYard.
Pervert ads? What kind of pervert?
Just somebody. I'm not going to read them for sure, but let's just say the kind where they're trying to get you to go to a site and do stuff.
I see. Oh.
And they're vulgar.
Oh.
So let's just say that's the first time I've ever seen those on StreamYard. So hopefully that's not a new thing that's going to start happening. I hate that kind of stuff. But I get the weirdest things to my Google. It's Google notifications or something. I get weird stuff like that all the time there. And I wonder if people are like sending it on purpose that hate me. Like they're always having to clean it off and report it. And it would, I could imagine who it would be. I've upset, some MUFON people. But anyway, are you there, Micah? Hello, Micah? I don't know if you can hear me, but for some reason it was doing a lot of, can you hear me? Might be a mic issue or something. I don't know. It was cutting out. But I have no idea, but hopefully we'll hear from him soon. As far as Joe, I don't know where Joe is. Last time I saw Joe, there's a meeting, and I saw him there. Sometimes I talk to him in chat when I have to say, where is the archive? He says, it's up.
The archive.
Yeah, the archive. And for some reason, I'm not sure, Micah Dank seems to be having some technical difficulties. Hopefully it's not internet. I mean, might be internet related because it sounded clear at first. Everything sounded okay. Saw everything okay. So kind of strange that it's happening, but hopefully he'll come right back because I'd rather him be talking right now than me. So, so hopefully it'll come back soon. Oh no!
What happened?
Those people are back.
Oh no, the chat?
Somebody keeps putting pervert stuff in the chat. I don't know. I've never seen that on StreamYard before, so
there's no way that I can see it. Oh, here I can see it. Oh my God.
Don't read it.
I won't read it.
Don't read it out loud.
Yeah, I see. You're blocking this.
Let's see if I can write him and see what's going on. Just some weirdo. That'll be the new thing on here, I guess. There's, that kind of crap. Usually comes to any kind of service. The freaks. Let's see.
I always wonder, what kind of response do they think they're going to get?
I know, right?
It's like, really? It's so, I don't know.
It's just weird. Maybe, I guess his internet died or something. I don't really know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Bible show. I tried to do the right thing. Tried to have a Sunday school lesson in the Church of Mabus, but I don't know what happened. It lasted 7 minutes.
But maybe this is absolute proof that you really are the Antichrist.
The Dark Lord did not like this.
The
He
dark
got rid of it. Hopefully he comes back. I wrote him. And weirdly enough, I looked on my Gmail earlier and it said you have 11,666 messages. I cannot tell you how many times 666 comes up for me in various ways. It's almost like a horror movie. Like I'll look at a hard drive, 666. I'll look at PayPal, 666. I'll look at Before It's News Crap, 666. Like it's all the time. It's like, am I Damien? I don't know what's going McDonald's, 666.
How can McDonald's? You mean like 6 billion served?
Like $6.66.
What you mean when you're purchasing?
I haven't been to McDonald's in a while, but that's happened at weird little places like that. I don't know. I've heard different things what it means, but it's just creepy. No matter which way you look at it, when it pops up all the time. As far as I wrote him an email, so. It's weird. His internet must have had some kind of trouble of some sort. Been watching a new show. Our Flag Means Death. And it's by the dude that does What We Do in the Shadows and the Reservation Dogs. It's on HBO Max. But it's basically pirates. And it's funny. Like it's a funny pirate show. And I always have trouble saying his name. I'll let you try to say it, Wham. Hold on. Maybe you can figure out how to say this guy's name.
Are you going to share it or put it in the
hold
chat?
on. Yeah, let me find it.
Chat?
This dude did the last Thor movies. He did the last... let me find somewhere where I can copy and paste it. Everything's a title. He did What We Do in the Shadows. He did... he was in The Mandalorian. He directed some episodes. He was the robot, the IG robot. But he's New Zealand. There's his name. It says New Zealand. Like Mori Warrior. Of course, the pervert people are back. How do you get rid of these people?
Oh, there they are.
Did you see the name in chat?
Yeah.
Taki Watiti.
No,
Take off. Watiti.
I didn't see the name. I didn't see it in chat. Did you put it in private chat?
Yeah, hold on. Let me put it in private chat. It was in the other chat where the pervert people are. There it is.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, Taika Waititi. Taika
Waititi. Anyway, he's Blackbeard in the show. And it's pretty funny because the other guys like this, I guess, yuppie guy that was bored and wanted to be a pirate, and he likes fabrics and all this stuff. He's not your normal pirate. But the Blackbeard meets this guy, and they get along. It's good. It's funny, though. But the dude that plays the good pirate, let's see what his name is. I've seen him in something. Our Flag Means Death. Rise Darby. RHYS Darby. I don't know what else he's been in, but I've seen him in something. What else has he been in here? Let me look on IMDb. He's been in Yes Man, Flight of the Conchords. He was in What We Do in the Shadows. Who was he in What We Do in the Shadows? I don't remember him in that. Unless he's the one guy. No, that's not who he is. I don't know who he was in that. I have to look him up. Maybe he's one of the werewolves. I have no idea, but who knows? I'd have to dig deep, and I lack the strength. But I wrote the guest, so hopefully he'll pop back up. Maybe it was just internet trouble. Because it's strange that it was working fine and everything was coming across clear at first, so something changed. But anyway, this James Gillian guy, let's pull up his newsletter here and see the stuff he said that's weird. Just creepy. Let's see. Many do not, this is from his newsletter.
This is the guy you were talking about.
Yeah. The East City Ranch guy. where you
Okay.
go there and camp, and there's cabins, and you supposedly get to see UFOs and all this weird stuff. It was kind of creepy for a lot of different reasons. But many do not believe in astrology, yet personally, I cannot deny the effects of a full moon. Lunatic derived its meaning from full moon cycles. Vedic medicine factors in the moon cycles as to dosages, and we cannot deny the tides, the power to move oceans. I find it hard to sleep during a full moon, especially about 3 days before. I'm getting to the weird stuff. Friday the 18th, usually 3 days before and after the moon will be having its effect. Things are really revving up. There's a lot of fear and anger in the air. Don't worry, World War III was canceled due to popular demand. Russia is taking out the garbage despite what the lamestream media is telling you. It is a war against the deep state and a Nazi regime. Putin has always been at war with the satanic Luciferian global elite. They are also taking out the bioweapons labs funded by Obama and now the Biden administration. Find alternative news sources if you really want to know what is unfolding. There's a bunch more crap. I lack the strength. I only read the first paragraph of it when I read it. So, but it's just crazy. And a lot of them are looking at it like that. Like he's doing the right thing as he bombs civilians evacuating and children are being pulled from rubble and babies in hospitals and maternity wards are being bombed. He's bombing the Nazis.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of these people, they're saying this stuff, and the fact is that they've never actually faced anything really awful like that in their lives. They don't have a clue. So
Yeah.
it's really easy for them to just, it's just easy for them to say crap like that.
It's crazy.
Now,
Sick.
I mean, the thing that I think is interesting is like if like America was doing the bombing, if we were the ones doing it, I mean, I don't think we would be deliberately targeting civilian places, although we would hit civilians because we always do. But if we were attacking or invading a place, it would all be censored. I mean, part of what makes this so terrible to see is that because it is somebody else conducting the war, and because Ukraine has been such an open society, we're able to see the real effects of this stuff.
Yep, and it's weird how Putin is telling his people that the war is like not even happening.
Yeah, or that it's much more limited.
That's crazy. It's like weird.
Yeah.
He's basically like the North Korean dude, just a white dude.
Well, apparently he did the same thing, like when they invaded Crimea, or when they were when he was bombing Grozny and Chechnya down to dust. He was confronted several times by our president, whoever that was. I think it was Obama in most cases, and he would just lie. He would just say, "No, that's not happening. That's not happening."
We got Micah back. Hopefully, it's taken a second, but yeah, it's just weird to watch. I mean, it doesn't even seem like he can take Ukraine. So what else is he gonna do unless China gets involved? I don't see how he's gonna do anything to us or anything. I mean, he can't even take Ukraine. So they're kicking his butt on a lot of levels. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped a bomb or chemical warfare. Give it time. Give it time.
Give it time. He's done that kind of stuff before.
Right now, it just says devices not connected. Micah Danks. So. He's saying it's StreamYard. It's completely down. We'll have to reschedule. I'm sorry. I don't understand why it's StreamYard. I mean, why are we here if it's StreamYard?
It's not StreamYard. It's his connection to something.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because we're still on.
Yeah, very odd. I don't know exactly what's going on, but that's definitely weird.
Well, I will just notice that it went out when it got to Leo.
Yeah.
And I don't like being a Leo, so I'll take credit for it.
Very odd. Very odd. Try to do a Bible show for everybody, a Bible study show, and this is what happens. At the Church of Mabus, the Dark Lord is upset. He will not have it tonight.
Not have it tonight. Nope.
And I was like, Storm, I'm doing a Bible show. Come on, don't let the power go out. Try to do the right thing here. I don't know what it is, but it seems like it may be something technical on his end because we never have any StreamYard trouble, really. One time, some lady with Apple. That's the only thing I remember. So, just weird. So, what's new, right? Is it Mercury retrograde? No.
No. There's nothing like that going on.
It's just a full moon, a worm moon.
It's just a full moon.
Is it still going? I thought that was it tonight, or it just happened.
Well, it was this morning. It was actually at Eastern time. It was like 7:12 this time. So I mean, it'll look full tonight.
Very, very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know what is going on here. So does anyone have any listener questions? If you're listening, you'd like to ask any questions, let us know in chat. Oh, I did find I was cleaning my books and I was so worried the mice got Artie Six Killer Clark's Native American Star People book. They didn't.
Oh, yay.
Because that book's like $300 now.
God. Oh, my God.
I would have been really pissed.
Oh, my God.
It was luckily safe, and I got most of the mice stuff cleaned up, but I was so worried that book got aced. And I would have never gotten to buy it again because I ain't paying that much for a book. It's crazy. Forget that.
No, her books must be out of print or going out of print or something.
Yeah, that one's out of print for some reason, which is weird. You would think. I haven't really heard much out of anonymous books in a long time. That's who printed it. You would think they would reprint it or something. So it's definitely weird that it's so much. I've seen that with some other books that they just get out of print, and next thing you know, there's some book about UFOs in the Bible by some Carter dude, this black dude, and I wanted it. It's like $200. Like, what? Reverend Carter or something. He's been on Ancient Aliens and stuff, but maybe I can get a hold of him and he's got some. Travis Walton, that book's pretty expensive now. I wish I would have got it a million years ago. I never did for some reason, so...
What's that one called?
Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky, that's right.
Travis Walton. I think now it's real hard to find and expensive. A bunch of them shoot up like that. And I had some of those Andy books get whacked by mice, which I'll probably never be able to replace. A few of them. I might be able to. I just don't want to go through the trouble, really. But I have to go through my books and get rid of the ones that are
eaten.
Yeah. Now I have it set up like Mouse Vietnam in here, so any of them come in here, I wish they didn't. Like it's like Groundhog Day. Oh, not Groundhog Day. Caddyshack with the doodad, the gopher.
Yeah.
Was it a gopher? Yeah, gophers.
Yeah.
Bill Murray and everything. So I don't know. Hopefully we can get Micah back on, but the Mabus didn't like it. Peter Lavinda was right. It's an entity that's gotten out of control.
Is that what he said? Mabus?
Something about it's a thought form that drains me or something. I don't remember.
Oh, it's like an egregore, huh?
Yeah, what's that? I've heard that word.
An egregore is like a thought form.
Yeah, like a tulpa or whatever.
Yeah. Egregore is like a tulpa. Usually created by like a magical lodge, but tulpas or egregores can be created sort of unintentionally too, like if a lot of associations emerge around a given concept or place.
Yeah.
And people come to think of it in a certain way. Maybe that's what Peter Levenda meant.
Yeah, he said a thought form that can drain you and something like that. I don't remember. I have to dig it up. Uh, I interviewed Peter Moon once, and he got mad because there's some sound effects or something that kept happening that what I wasn't doing. But he's kind of a dick. But anyway,
Sound effect.
some kind of noise that kept happening or something that was out of control. I don't know what it was, but I don't know what it was. It's just one of those weird things. Some kind of noise.
It is strange how things have kind of happened with this show. You know, um, there have been a number of odd synchronicities like that where I don't know if you remember, but I've been I've been doing this now with you for almost 10 years or something, and there's been all kinds of times when we'll start talking about something really intense. Well, just like the guy that was talking last week.
Yeah.
He talked about how when he was talking about certain intense stuff, there was this weird static.
You
Crap.
heard it, and I know you're pretty good at discerning crap from whatever. It seemed weird to me, but I mean, I'm still on the fence. I mean, it seemed weird, but I try to stay open in case it was something else. It definitely seemed odd.
I mean, we don't know what it was, but it was just that it would emerge at certain times when he was saying stuff, certain things, and then there have been other things like that, and it wasn't with this show, but remember I did a presentation with Smiles, Stephen Lewis Miles or whatever his name is, with what is it, Anomaly Archives in Austin,
Yeah.
Texas. That he's friends with Stephanie, and we did a live presentation about Eugenia Macer's story.
Yes.
And when I was specifically talking about certain aspects of her experience with mechanical objects, we started getting weird feedback stuff.
Oh, okay.
And
excuse me.
And that's like actually recorded in the broadcast. He just kept going, and I just pointed it out. See this weird distortion? This is the kind of thing that happens, whenever you talk about Eugenia Macer's story.
It's funny. I've been cleaning books and stuff and came across, she sent me so many books, and I've come across a bunch of them. None of them got hurt, so that was good, but I've been dusting them off.
Which one? Well, tell me which ones you have at some point, because if she sent them to you, you may have ones that are hard to get.
I'll definitely look. She sent me a bunch. She sent me a laptop too once, like an old laptop.
Oh, that's
to
weird.
use. Yeah, and I still have it. She sent it, for me to. I had computer trouble or something. She was always really sweet, and but it's strange. I just looked at that. I've just looked at her books yesterday. I was cleaning just yesterday, so it's kind of creepy. In a good way.
Yeah. Well, but seriously, look at the books see which ones of hers you have, because some of hers are really valuable now, and so if you have some that are harder to get,
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll go through them. I have a bunch for sure. She sent me a ton, a lot. There was some book I was looking at yesterday, Goblin Universe. I don't think that was hers. It was some other weird book by someone. Let me look it up. There it is, The Goblin Universe by Frederick William Holliday.
Yes.
It's a neat name. The Goblin Universe.
The Goblin. Yeah, that one sounds famous, actually. I think I've heard of it.
Colin Wilson and Ted Holliday.
Yeah.
Colin Wilson's like a British dude, right?
Yeah.
Mike Seeland was mean to me once for some reason. That guy, you ever heard of him? Mike Seeland?
Yeah.
Cleveland. It was weird. Like, I didn't even do anything. It was just really strange. He was on my Facebook, and somehow Dr. Leo Sprinkle came up. And he asked me, did I know who it was? And I go, I'd heard of him, but I mean, I don't know a lot about him, but I had heard of him. Some reason he got mad and blocked me just because I said that. It was weird. And he was also, and he wrote me, and he was, some reason he was mad at Jeremy Vianney and was glad that I did something about that. It was like a weird praise you, then I don't know. It was weird. And I didn't even say anything to the guy. I was like trying to be his friend and get him on the show. Just weird things like that over the years that I don't understand. There's several people like that I don't get it. There was a Whitley Strieber incident that was kind of like that. That was weird, where I had made this post about Richard Hoagland, and I was making fun of Richard Hoagland, saying everything was a spaceship about comets or asteroids or something. And Whitley popped up on Facebook and goes, "This is a service to humanity." And I thought, I guess at the time, that he was giving me a compliment, but I guess he was insulting me on some level. But anyway, I wrote him as an anonymous person just to say, what about Jeffrey Pritchett and Mabus? And he's like, anybody that associates their name with that name must be crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Just weird little things like that with quips with people. And God knows, I'm not perfect. I don't get as angry as I used to, but a lot of people know me for getting angry at people, and that's kind of what they liked about me. But now I'm kind of burned out with even doing that, except for an occasional relapse. But another weird one that I'm thinking is Adam Go Rightly.
Yeah.
I interviewed Adam so many times I've lost count. And Skylar, we did a whole book show opening live. I don't know if you were there, Beazle, I can't remember, but there was a book thing that happened with Ron Patton, and the show opened up, my show. And anyway, later I found out from Adam, he blocked me, and I've never had any fights with him. He's been on the show a lot. Nothing, never even an argument with him. But something happened, and someone asked him about it, and he said, I heard something bad about him. And I have no clue what it was, who it was, but he got rid of me, like just threw me under the bus like a piece of dirt. And only thing I can think of, there's some weird little gonzo dude that I got in an argument about politics with that was kind of a right-wing nut that's friends with Adam, and they did publishing together, like books, and that's the only thing I could think of. But it's just weird little stories like that you think about. Usually I just let go of it, but some of them you can't. You don't. They haunt you on some level. I mean, and when you get down to it, I just don't care in the long run. But it's just weird when you think about it, and it comes up just quips with people that you try to understand when they just kind of throw you away like a piece of garbage, which, I'm used to people doing that to me anyway. So I've always been a mutant, a drag of society. So it's nothing new. But the Mike Seelan thing was weird. I'd heard of Leo Sprinkle, but I was not an expert on Leo Sprinkle. So I don't deserve to talk to you for the rest of your life. Like, it's just strange stuff like that. But anywho,
it's really strange.
Yeah, just crap. But there's no Micah Dank. The devil stole him from the show. And he said it's StreamYard is completely down. We'll have to reschedule. So maybe we'll try again some other time. But I have no freaking idea. Well, StreamYard, we're fine right here. So maybe it's something that's in his sector or location. I don't know. I just know there's a porno bot on StreamYard. That's a first.
Yeah. Bot. There it is. Although he doesn't seem to. Oh, there it is. It started up again.
Oh no. Okay. I'm not going to say the name, but I'll read some of the ones. Hey, I'm waiting you own. 18 plus stream was blocked. I blocked them. The other one's online strips without clothing. What the hell? Come to my site, online strips without clothing. Is this a foreign dude, like an Indian dude? That one I'm not going to read. That one's too nasty. Bro, just go website, and I'm not going to read that one. They're gone now, but Online strips without clothing. Wow. You better go to that one. They're stripping. There's no clothing there.
I guess
That's
that's what
crazy.
stripping means.
That sounds like an Indian dude. No offense, or something, or online clothing strips.
Online clothing stripped.
Something for sure. But as far as I want to do some like a YouTube channel and do some stuff, but I see some of these people that make these videos and they're getting paid for it, and some of their titles they're idiots. So I can make better titles than some of the people I see who are making bucks. Like some of the titles are crazy. Like some of the titles for the anonymous videos that come out are really like, y'all guys need somebody to make your titles better for you or something. But now Anonymous is attacking Russia and going after people in our Congress, like that. What's her name? Marjorie Green. She seems like a kook, but they're calling her a Russian asset. Like they're naming people who are supposed Russian traitors in the Republican Party. And these anonymous, the dudes with the mask and V for Vendetta and all that stuff are going after them and supposedly hacking the Russians. So, that isn't that Julia Assange's whole thing that sprung from WikiLeaks and kind of weirdness kind of thing, all that stuff. But it's weird, but they didn't do anything for a long time. But now I guess they're getting refired up for some hacking, some Russian hacking.
Russian hacking.
I could see Peter Levenda's The Dark Lord book from up here. That was pretty interesting. We had him on about that. Did you ever read that book, The Dark Lord?
Yeah, that's a great book. In fact, I tell people that if they want to read like a primer on Aleister Crowley and his connection to Kenneth Grant's The Draconian Current, all of that, that's the book to read. Because it's a really good introduction. I'm standing up and walking over to my bookshelf, so don't.
Okay. So what does he mean by the Dark Lord? Does he mean the devil? What is that? The allegory
for? Sort of, I suppose. Sort of. I mean, it's more like it's more like it's kind of like what Kenneth Grant sort of meant by it, in the sense that it's the Dark Lord as kind of the antithesis of God, if you will.
Okay. I know I've read Unholy Alliance. I need to re-get that. I remember finding that at a friend's house back in my wilder days, and we read it and everything, and it was on a shelf. It's one of the weird books I came across, Unholy Alliance. I still need to get the third book in that Lovecraft situation that he was doing. I know I have two of them. I need to get the third one. Better get it before it goes out of print or something. Hopefully it doesn't. I'm sure, I doubt it will, but.
Oh, by the way, my book here, I meant to tell you, Mike Hacker, remember we had him on?
Yes.
He's doing my Audible book. It should be out the end of April, beginning of May. And cool. So he's, we've been going back and forth. He sent me, I guess it's been about a month ago now, he sent me the introductory first chapter recorded to get it okayed with me, because I have to help him on some of the pronunciations of like the indigenous words and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, that'll be coming out. I'm really happy about that. He did a good job.
Cool. And definitely keep us updated for sure. And okay. There's 3 books here. I don't think I have the third one. I think I have the first 2, Lovecraft Code and Dunwich. And then I need the
Starry Wisdom.
Yeah. Those are all fiction, aren't they?
Those are fiction. They're fiction. They're based on some real ideas, some real practitioners. Like Starry Wisdom has a whole section of it that is based on not only the Lovecraftian stuff that he's been dealing with, but is also based on the work of what the guy's name? Hold on just a second.
Lovecraft. No.
Well, it's not just Lovecraft. It's based on the work of. I'll find it here. Oh hell. Paschal Beverly Randolph. I always want to just call him Randolph, but he was this African American dude who actually his work was deeply influenced the Golden Dawn and the OTO and a number of other people. And by the way, this book on vampire magic by Don Webb.
Yes.
He has a good introduction to Paschal Beverly Randolph in here. If people just want to get sort of like a brief rendition of who this guy was. But the reason why his work was obscured, even though he was extremely influential in occult circles, was because he was a black guy who wrote about sex magic. That's what he specialized in. And so he wrote like over 50 books on magic and sex magic in particular. But there's a whole chunk of the Starry Wisdom that is just about this guy. It's just about Randolph. And in fact, I'd say almost a third of the book is about Randolph. And it turns out that Randolph, in the book, Randolph is doing a kind of magic that is being ignored because of who he is, but it's creating a light field that is battling this Lovecraftian stuff.
Okay.
And so the book doesn't. I'll let you decide whether the plot resolves, but basically what it turns out is that you've got two different systems of magic, which are pulling on real sources of power, but they're kind of, because of the difference in intention.
Yes.
One cancels the other out.
Okay. I'm going to have to check it out. I'm pretty sure I have the first two books, but then my OCD goes, I better look and make sure. So now I have to go through my million books and make sure I have the first two, which I'm pretty sure I do. But the third one I'll have to nab for sure. And I wonder if Artie's coming out with another book. I haven't heard anything about her in a while.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard anything about her for a long time.
Hopefully she's okay from all that COVID crap.
Oh, I know. I mean, I thought about her a lot during COVID.
I'll write her and check up on her sometime. Let's see. That book is, I'm looking at Encounters with, I have all her books, but yep, $400 for the paperback on Amazon. Hardcover's $190.
Wow.
It's crazy. Gosh, the $400? That's crazy.
Wow.
What in the world? They need to do something about that. That's just weird. Very strange. On eBay, they're $200, $300, $100. I was hoping some idiot would have put one up and didn't realize what was going on. $15, but no chance. 200, 300, 100. So that's crazy. It's weird how that happens. Sucks for sure. I had that happen with this King Arthur Legend Tarot set. Like, I got the set I had got messed up, and then I went to go look for it on eBay. It's like outrageous, and I ended up buying it anyway because I loved it. Just this really cool King Arthur set that's really awesome that I really liked. But I think I found it for 80 or something or 100. But King Arthur, what is it called? Legend Tarot. Legend. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, Keeper of Words. The Legend Arthurian Tarot. and that's $300 on eBay. I know I didn't pay that for it, thank God. But it's just weird. We'll have to get Micah back at some point. He said StreamYard tech trouble, so maybe we'll reschedule him another time and won't have any problems. So we'll check it out for sure. And Dr. Tori once said that you ever heard of Dr. Tori from Coast to Coast and all that?
Yeah.
One time he said, I have a golden draconian that shows me things, that hangs around me, a golden reptilian. He said it was a golden reptilian. He said it was good, and it shows me things, which I don't know what to make of that.
A golden reptilian.
Yeah, like a golden reptilian. It's gold, and it's a reptilian alien.
Okay.
I'll have to ask him about that again when he comes home, but I know he has this thing where he says people are reptilian parasitically infected. Like when bad things happen, he claims it's from them, and it gets pretty weird. But he's been on since Art Bell. The dude's been around a while, Dr. Tori. He'll be on April 8th. Also into Nostradamus and astrology and all that stuff a lot. Augie Nost. That was an interesting one. I don't know if you heard of him before. His name's Augie, Aagenost. He's been on a lot of stuff, but he has Rod Stewart hair. I think there's an alien that lives in his hair. If you see a picture of him. But I interviewed him with Jerry Avalos one night, and it was a great interview. Jay's sitting in this one because he really wanted to. He was the one that recommended him to the show. And that night something happened and Jerry sat in. But anyway, a funny story. This is one of those, I don't know if I should tell it or not. But I was looking on Google and his mugshot comes up.
Oh my God.
And I'm sitting there, doing an interview. I'm like, I'm not going to ask him about it. But then I really want to, so I just didn't. So I show it to Jerry, and you could see Jerry's face when he sees it. Like, you know what? And it's this weird story about him assisting a crime family syndicate or something.
What?
And let me see, I can pull it up now. And let me see, here's what it says: assisted crime syndicate, lead gang conspiracy. And there's this picture of him, and it's just interesting. But I had asked him about it at some point, or someone told me the story that he was doing something that upset people about the truth or something. I don't know. But it's just weird. It came up when we were doing the interview, and I was like, what the hell is this?
That's pretty fucking.
Yeah.
I said an F word.
Uh-oh. It got blocked.
We got blocked.
But he... I don't know if I asked him about it privately. I don't remember, but it was just one of those weird situations that I asked another host about it, and they said that he was revealing the truth and got caught up in something weird, odd, or something particular. I don't know, but maybe I'll ask him about it next time or not. I don't want to get on any hit list with crime syndicate families or anything.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. And oh my gosh! So what's been going on up there with? Have you been hanging around natives, or lately,
I've just been beginning the process of coming out of the whole COVID thing, and I work a lot during the week, so the only time I have to do anything at all is on weekends, and I have done some stuff with some of the indigenous folks here. I can show you this. This is all stuff that I'm in my office. So this is all junk that's in my office or stuff that's in my office. I think it was back in November, maybe December, that I was made part of a pipe carrying group. So I was given a pipe.
Okay, that's a pipe. Cool.
It's wrapped up. It's a
Oh, I was
huge.
like, that's a colorful bong.
No, it's all wrapped up.
Okay.
It's got its uh, stone thing here, and then it's um, the pipe stem.
You
But
smoked out of it yet?
I've opened it up. But yeah, it's for this. I'm part of a pipe healing group now,
Okay.
and I haven't been able to do a lot with it yet. In fact, I'm hoping to do more with it this summer. But yeah, it's part of a group that was started by a guy named Paul Tobin, who works a lot with the Muncie here, and also has been trained by the Lakota, and
Cool.
was given permission. Now these pipes are based on certain traditional teachings. And the Muncie do their pipes differently than the Lakota do. There's a whole different purpose for them. The Lakota have a ceremony that has 7 teachings attached to it, and it's a very specific kind of thing. The Muncie do something different with their pipes. It doesn't have, for example, the same kind of level of sacredness or importance, but that doesn't
Yes.
mean it's not important. But it's usually used for healing and for peacemaking more than anything else. And so I'm still learning about it, honestly. I've only smoked this one once, and that was just to open it up. But anyway, so that's the one thing that
What did you smoke in it?
It's a mixture of tobacco and sumac. And
Sumac, huh?
sumac and a couple of other herbs.
Tobacco, sumac,
Herba usi is another one that's used.
herba usi.
Yeah, there's a number of and there are a number of different recipes actually that are used. It was very rare that the indigenous people here in North America, at least when they smoked their pipes, it was very rare that they just put tobacco in it. Usually it was mixed with other herbs.
Cool.
So, but then there's a story that was given. There's like a story about how the pipe came to the Lenape, probably how tobacco first came to the Lenape. And we have actually from Paul Tobin as well. We actually got some native tobacco that we grew in our garden here, and so we have a little chunk of it.
Oh, okay.
Left over from.
Cool.
Yeah, we were able to harvest. So I mean, I've been doing stuff like that, but the paranormal stuff, it depends. It's like at Pine Bush now somebody in Pine Bush got a whole bunch of money, and there's like a Pine Bush museum there now in Pine Bush, and they're sort of doing their own thing, but you have to like pay to go in, and you can't just have they have speakers there, but you can't just go to it. You have to pay money to do it. So, I'm not willing to do that most of the time. My friend, the Bigfoot person, Gail Beatty, she was out of commission for quite a while because she had, I think it was knee replacement surgery or something. She had something large, some kind of large surgery like that. And so she was sort of out of it for a while. And because of it, she wasn't able to do a lot of field research. Well, she's recovered from it. And so she's able now to go out and around a little bit more. She just contacted me a couple of weeks ago. And I'm still paying attention to the ghost stuff that's going on at the gym. There are periodically interesting things that happen there. We've had some of the CCTV footage analyzed by a guy who works for NBC in New Jersey, and there's some really interesting stuff that's come out of it. For example, he took some of the footage and enhanced it, and had a sound engineer enhance the soundtrack, and they were able to find that there were some strange noises that the microphone to the camera was picking up that you can't really hear clearly with the naked ear, with just your ear, but they're sounds that the microphone was able to pick up, but they're like a lower frequency than we can hear. So just really interesting stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I've been doing. I've been mostly, though, just kind of really concentrating on certain aspects of my personal life, which I had sort of ignored for a number of years. And that's so I'll confess I haven't paid a great deal of attention to some of the paranormal stuff like I used to. I've just been really happy helping Mike do the audiobook,
Definitely. And let's see. I was just looking through some of the UFO books on Amazon just to see it's fun just to look to see what's doing well. Some book I'd never heard of, an illustrated history of UFOs. I never heard of that one. I have to save that one. It's got like 5 stars or something. It's a hardcover illustrated history of UFOs. Let's see. Here's one. Alien Invasions: The History of Aliens and Pop Culture. That's pretty interesting. I used to look through Amazon and find books and then, find people to interview that way. I haven't did that in a long time. That's how you can keep up, with new people or whatever.
Right.
And Skinwalkers at the Pentagon. I got that. I haven't read it yet. Here's one. Trinity, the Best Kept Secret by Jacques Vallée and Paula Harris. I never heard of that one. Trinity, the Best Kept Secret. What is that about? I don't know. I'm reading here. Let's look at the cover. Groundbreaking research reveals a new UFO history. Professor Paul Hynek. Trinity, the Best Kept Secret. I don't know what that is. That must be a case or something. White Sands. Some book. I don't know. I'll mark it on my thing and look at it later. But looks like there's a native on the front of it. Have you ever heard of that particular book, Trinity?
I think so, actually. I think that there was. Let me see here.
Let's see here. Came out in 2021.
I want to see if this Paola Harris, this journalist here.
Yeah, it's by him and her, and
I think that this Paola Harris. I think that there is some controversy with her. I can't recall now exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But
I've heard of her, but I don't really know much about her. But
you might want to ask Stephanie quick about it, because I think that it was through the people that she's connected to, like at Radio Mysterioso or whatever, that they were recounting some controversies with Paola that had to do with her, because she's a journalist, that have to do with her, like either falsifying data or misrepresenting it in some way. And I don't know. That's just what I heard. I do not personally know whether that's. But anyway, some people were kind of questioning why Jacques Vallée would want to associate his name with her.
Okay.
And this
he might not have known. I know for some reason, I don't know what it is about exopolitics, but they all seem kooky as hell. Everyone I come across is involved in exopolitics. I mean, please tell me some that aren't. Alfred Weber, this lady, Michael Salla. I mean, they all seem kooky, like they just make up stuff. Like
Yeah.
now the big thing is from exopolitics and Michael Salla is Putin is retrieving the Ark of the Covenant from Ukraine, and that's why he's bombing the Nazis.
That's why he's killing people.
It's
Great.
Indiana Jones is what's going on. But everything I read from exopolitics is insane. Obama's time tripping to Mars in a Stargate. There's no evidence. It's like they're just making up erotica with aliens or something. And I swear, everyone I don't, that Laura Eisenhower, she's she's kooky. Like they're all kooky. And if you, and that Weber and Basago and all them, I questioned the Obama Mars story and said I thought it was crap. Their response to me was, "You're a dark Satanist that works for the cabal."
Jesus.
Like, I'm still broke, so I mean they don't pay me much apparently. Of course, I heard from the Starborn sisters that the dark side pays me weekly, which I want to know where all this is going because they got the wrong Jeffrey account apparently.
Then you get paid. Yeah, it's like, well, where is it then? Why do I need to ask people help in renewing my website?
Yeah, exactly. Freaking GoDaddy, God, they're swindlers. Like just to keep that thing going for 3 months, they charge the crap out of you for everything. Then it's a certificate. Then it's a URL. It's like, what's next? My God. But the exopolitics, though, it's just crazy. Like, are they all nuts? Can you show me someone in exopolitics that's not insane? Like, I would run from that word if I saw it. Like anyone I see.
Well, and I don't even bother talking about Joseph Farrell anymore. I mean, it's like, he had some like really interesting ideas at certain points, but I
interviewed him once.
He has gone so far down his own rabbit hole of canard that it's like, it's the curse of the intellectual, I suppose.
Yeah, he was on about Nazis and UFOs, and it was a good interview, but something happened and he blocked me or something. I'm guessing it was politics. I don't know. Something upset him. I don't remember exactly what. But my Andrew Basago story, we were going to have him on, me and Guy, and he was scheduled to come on. And another one of those stories I probably shouldn't tell, but I will anyway. I'm sure I've told it before. But anyway, he was on my Facebook, and he saw the word dildo on my wall. I said something to someone about a dildo. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. Something funny, I'm sure, just being stupid. And he goes, "Jeffrey, I saw the word dildo on your Facebook wall. I can't do your show. I teach the children." I was like, you just saw me make a joke about a dildo on the wall and you can't do the show? So I prank called him, and he answered in traffic, and he was cussing and going crazy in traffic. Like something weird happened. Like usually when people back then mess with me, I prank call them. I prank called Clifford Mahooty once, but I was nice to him. I acted like Jack Nicholson and left a message about him being late to every show and something. Like I wasn't mean to him because I liked the guy, but he did stand us up like 3 times. Like every time we got to go interview Clifford Mahooty, Zuni Elder, he would be late and wouldn't show up. Oh, I forgot I have court today. Like native dude. I really wanted to interview him, but finally after the 3rd time, I'm like, screw you, man. Especially when you're about to do the show and go live and the guest ain't there 3 times in a row. But anyway, I prank called him with Jack Nicholson voice, but I wasn't mean to him. I was just like, I don't know what I said, but it wasn't mean. It's just funny. He probably didn't think it was funny, but can't you show up to an appointment, Clifford Mahooty? But anyway, I don't know. I saw Jack Nicholson's son recently. He's
Oh
dating
yeah.
someone, I don't remember who, but he looks just like Jack Nicholson. It's weird, like Jack Nicholson's mini me.
That's strange.
Yeah, his son. If you look it up, they look like he looks like young Jack Nicholson. Oh, there's some show coming on Netflix I want to see with Mike Myers is doing the whole show. The guy that does Doctor Evil and all that stuff.
Huh?
Let me look up the name of it. I can't I can't say it for some reason, but it's called the Pentaverate. Pentaverate. But it's about Mike Myers takes on 8 new characters as he tries to save the world. So, what is a Pentaverate? Is that even a word? I don't know. Let me look it up and see if it's a word that actually means something. I guess I don't see any definition for it or anything. What's the plot of the Pentaverate?
I don't have any idea.
It says in So I Married an Axe Murder. That's a movie. I know Mike Myers was in it. Mackenzie Scottish Stats Stewart says that the Pentaverate is comprised of the wealthiest and most powerful people in the world who meet triennial in a secret place called the Meadows. So this is like Illuminati or something like that. But like I don't remember who else is in exopolitics. I'm sure. Hopefully they're not all insane. But they might be.
I don't know. They're all pretty weird. It's like I start trying to read their stuff, and I'm just like I can't take them seriously. I just can't. It's just kind of like
they need to be writing Bigfoot porn on Amazon or something, and that's what they can do for a living. But as far as or something alien erotica or something, it's like they just spin these weird alien stories and then they all agree that it's true, yet there's no evidence whatsoever, and they go crazy about it. Like there's this lady who goes with it all the time with Michael Salas stuff. There she is. Let me find her name here. Alina Alina Dannon. Sounds like something from Lord of the Rings, but this lady, and she always backs up all their stories. It's weird. Maybe they're like all government spooks or something. They like write scripts for this stuff. But here's the other one that just happened was all these leaders went to Antarctica. I forget their names, Klaus something, blah, blah, blah. And they were ambushed there by the good aliens. And then they had to be forced to join the good aliens. And the good aliens got rid of all the bad aliens. And they all agree that this really happened. Michael Sala, this lady from Lord of the Rings, the elf lady, and, all these people, they agree it happened. But there's no evidence whatsoever that it happened. Like I'd be a little open to it if there was some evidence.
How do you get forcibly abducted by good aliens? I mean, wouldn't they just come up and say, "Hey, do you want to come with us? Come along with us?"
The good aliens appeared in Antarctica as the bad people from the Illuminati got there, and they said, "Hey, you work for us. We're gonna kill all the bad aliens. You work for us now." And they didn't kill them, and they all agreed and went back about their lives. And now all the bad aliens are gone, and it's the good aliens, but people are still doing weird stuff like killing babies and bombing Ukraine. So obviously all the bad's not gone. So I see sick stories by accident on Bing and Microsoft all the time about people killing their kids and weird, crazy stuff that's insane and sick. So apparently there's still something wrong in Albuquerque here, So I don't know. It's just crazy. But I don't understand it. And it does seem weird. Like they just, let's make up this story and we'll all do shows about it. Naked's back. Naked Online. Strips without clothing. that they're back. That's their advertisement. I'm not going to say the site. Online strips without clothing. What the hell? Block user. Like I've never seen these people on StreamYard strips without clothing, and that's their ad. Nothing else from Micah. He ditched us completely, so he said sorry. It was weird. Like StreamYards never did that before. I have to get him on again, hopefully sometime. It's just confusing. Here's another one of those. I don't know if this dude is exopolitics. La Marzulli. Have you ever heard of him?
I think maybe at some point.
I know he's right wing kooky and he loves the Trumpelgooch, but he claims all this stuff about the Nephilim, on the trail of the Nephilim, the giants and skulls and all this stuff. And I think there's some truth to that stuff, but he's definitely got a little right wing kooky side to him and stuff. But he has all these videos of giants and all this stuff. And there's a bunch of those weird little personalities. Steve Quayle. You ever heard of that guy? Steve Quayle.
Yes, I have.
He puts out a lot of weird stuff about giants, and he got a little weird side. A lot of them died. Like that Russ Dysdar. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Got a book called The Black Awakening about all these serial killers that supposedly come online and are satanic super soldiers. Steve Quill like introduced him to everybody, but he was one of those ones. And there's pictures of that guy with Alice Cooper. So I mean, for all intents and purposes, he seemed kind of cool, but still had a little right wing kooky side to him. But anyway, he was saying COVID and all that stuff's fake and all this stuff. And of course, next thing you know, he's dead.
Yeah.
That was the same thing with that Kirsten W., that friend of Roseanne. And, you know, of course, Roseanne went to the kooky side, the Asian lady. She was saying all this stuff bad about it, and she's dead. Like, there was just so many. Robert David Steele, that CIA agent that's been on the show, he was saying that stuff. Dead. Like, a lot of... and you find them, and they really were saying, you know, stuff bad about it, the vaccine or about COVID or whatever. Next thing you know, they're dead. Like, it's like it was coming after them. Like, are you talking about me? Dead. Kind of creepy. Like, I've seen a bunch of people croak lately in that circuit, and a lot of them were stupid, kind of, with the stuff they said, and like didn't believe it was real at all or whatever. Just weird stuff like that, but doing rallies and stuff, and then they're dead. Now I don't really hear anything about it, hardly since Ukraine, which I'm sure they're still talking about it some, but I don't hear much about it. Not a whole lot, for sure. But let's see. So Gail's back bigfooting. She took a break and then came back.
Well, yeah, she had to heal some, and now she's back. At least she was doing some presentations. And so, I mean, I don't know how much field research she's doing at the moment. I need to reconnect with her. I was going to do that in the next,
Whoops. What was she? She was sick or something?
No, well, she had some physical problems. She had some injuries. She had been in a really bad car accident a few years ago. And that exacerbated some physical problems that she had anyway. And she needed to, like, I can't remember now whether it was a hip replacement or a knee replacement. It was something like that. But there were some complications with whatever it was, and it just took a while for her to recover from it. She was in a lot of pain, and because of COVID, it took a while to get her scheduled. To do it. And because, well, I don't know what her status is right now, but she refused to get the vaccination because she's a little bit conspiracy minded about that.
Yeah.
So, I think that probably made it more difficult for her to schedule her surgery, because she would have to isolate in certain ways and be tested all the time, and you know what I mean. So
Yes.
so it just took longer, I think, to do the whole process, as I
Okay.
understand.
Well, luckily she's doing better. And here's some things I'm looking at before it's news that I'm seeing that are kind of disturbing in the news. Uh, Trump and Putin's special forces, Operation Z, the end of the satanic New World Order cabal. And Russia has been using the Z as their symbol, like it's their
Mm-hmm.
swastika or whatever. But a lot of these. Here's another one. Situation update. Today's studio fake White House set. The White House is fake. Fake Ukraine war. Fake crisis actors. Fake. The whole war, to some people, is fake. It's not real. It's not happening. It's made up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to tie Trump and the China dude and Putin into the same team, and they're battling the satanic New World Order. And they believe this stuff. They believe it, and that's what they do. They believe it. It's weird. It's really strange just to look at. It's creepy. It's creepy on a lot of different levels. That people are painting this weird picture that this is the right thing to do, to bomb the crap out of Ukraine because Nazis are there or whatever. That they're battling the New World Order. They're taking out uh, bio labs that make COVID. It's just lies, basically, with no evidence. It's creepy.
Yeah.
They're making Putin into Hitler, pretty much.
Yeah.
There'll be stuff about him battling the banks like Hitler did and all that crap. I forget the whole line and sinker on all that stuff, but it's just creepy. And it's really creepy. I don't see how Putin can do much more if he can't even take out Ukraine. What else is he going to do? I know he was like messing with Poland on the borders and stuff concerning Poland and stuff. I know he threatened to bomb anyone that joined NATO or Sweden or whatever. Sweden said they were going to join NATO. I think he said something crazy about them, bombing them. I know he's begging for China to help. Who knows? I mean, it'll get really creepy if they start doing stuff at the same time, which I'm wondering if that's what's going to happen eventually anyway with Taiwan or whatever. They're just kind of testing the waters. It's all creepy, but Ukraine's kind of beating their butts, isn't it? Seems like it.
Certainly giving him a run for his money.
Good.
I teach college class still, and I felt like I was sort of honor bound over the past 2 or 3 weeks to sort of review the history of Ukraine, because I knew that my students would have questions about all of it, and because there's a history component in the class, and my students are like most Americans. They don't know crap about the history of Ukraine. They don't know crap about the historical relationship between Ukraine and Russia. And so, I was able to explain to them kind of where Russia, that the historical basis for Russia's claim. But the truth is that if you know the history of that part of the world and the history of Kiev, and what you know is that Russia, as we know it, Russia would not exist without Ukraine. The first civilization or culture that emerged, that later we would come to associate with anything Russian, started in Kiev. That's really the seat of Slavic Christian civilization, and there were two main things that happened historically that eventually caused people to associate that with Moscow. I mean, there were Slavic outposts in the area that is now, Moscow and stuff earlier, but in 1453, when Constantinople was conquered finally by the Turks and became Istanbul, um, and the patriarch of the Orthodox Church had to move somewhere. They originally were going to move to Kiev, but at that time, in Kiev's history, it wasn't a stable enough place.
Mhm.
It was being ruled by the Poles at the time, and so the Poles were Catholic, so the patriarch was invited to Moscow, because Moscow at the time was a backwater place. It was like a third world country or less. I mean, it was kind of like a little better than a settlement at the time. So what happened was that is what gave Moscow its initial sort of cachet, if you will, is it became like the new location of the patriarchate of the head of the Orthodox Church. The other thing that happened, and there's this interesting story that the Ukrainians tell about their relationship with Moscow. That during the 17th century, when there were lots of warring factions in Ukraine trying to control it, Poles and Hungarians and different groups like that, there were the remnants of the old Ukrainian aristocracy. They were called the Cossacks, and they sort of formed this loose alliance, if you will. They're sort of seen as Ukrainians as kind of like, cowboys, kind of, like we see cowboys heroically in the United States. And there was this one guy who was a member of this aristocracy, and he lived most of his life as a kind of a regular guy. He had a farm and a wife and kids and stuff like this. And at some point, his wife died, and he was going to get remarried and have like a new family. But there were some Poles, I believe that they were Poles, that were trying to take control of that part of the world where he was in the Ukraine, and they killed his wife and his kids. And it became, if you're familiar with that movie Unforgiven that Clint Eastwood is in,
yes,
this guy goes on the same kind of vengeful fit, essentially, that guy goes on in that movie, and it becomes this war of attrition, and he hooks up with all of these other disenfranchised Cossacks, and they just start like laying waste to every Pole and Hungarian they can possibly get a hold of, because he's just pissed because the reality destroyed his life, basically. Well, he's able to do a lot of damage, but he's not able to actually unify anything, to control anything. So eventually he has to get allies. So he's eventually driven to Moscow to get allies.
What movie is this again?
This is not a movie. This is
the real thing.
This is a story that the Ukrainians tell.
Okay.
And his name is like Kilomensky or something. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but anyway. So in the story, he finally is forced to go to the Russians for help, to Moscow for help. And the Muscovites want him to sign this treaty that basically hands over anything that he wins to Moscow, essentially. Basically saying that the people in Moscow, that the Russians and the Ukrainians are the same people or something. And he resists this for years. And then finally, because of his own situation and the corner he's painted himself into, he finally is forced to do it. And so, from the Ukrainian perspective, it's not clear whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. All they know is that they no longer want to feel bound by this old story to Russia. But that's the basis by which Putin tries to claim that Ukrainians are really Russians, when in fact it's the other way around. Russians are actually Ukrainians.
Oh, okay. I
So,
know. Did you get to see the Arnold thing?
yes, I have. I have seen the Arnold thing.
Yeah, it was good. Well, hopefully, a lot of those people see it. But if you're in their military, I mean, what can you do? You can't. You don't do what they say. They're probably gonna mess you up somehow. That's the other thing. The protesters in Russia. You think they're killing them, or what are they doing to them?
Well, it'd be hard to kill 15,000 people.
Yeah.
They're probably just holding a lot of them.
It's just crazy to think about. You're protesting that over there. And with Putin, that's got to be even more scary for sure. With the way he is and everything, that he's definitely trying to be little Hitler for sure, no doubt about it. Why do they always have tiny hands? Like Putin has little tiny hands.
I don't
Trump
know.
has little tiny hands. They all have little tiny hands.
Maybe
Napoleon.
is there some relationship between hand size and?
Yeah, probably. That's probably it. Napoleon probably had little tiny hands. I saw this thing where Joaquin Phoenix is going to play Napoleon in a movie by Ridley Scott, and they showed him dressed like it, and it was creepy. God, it looked really creepy. Like Joaquin Phoenix dressed as Napoleon. He was in his getup. Let me see if I can find it. Phoenix. There's got to be a picture. What? There it is. Wait, no, that's not it. That's him in Gladiator. But there's a picture of him as Napoleon. You can find it online. It's creepy. But there's right now the stuff when he was Gladiator. He's creepy in that when he played that Caesar or whatever. No, I don't know if it was Caesar. It's just one of those Roman dudes, the leader dude. But I want to see the new Batman. The Batman. It's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that it is pretty good.
They say the Riddler's like the Zodiac killer.
Oh wow, maybe that's who the Zodiac killer really was.
Maybe so. It's what's that guy's name in Congress? I forget. The dummy from Texas. I can't remember his that they call him the Riddler. I mean, not the Riddler, the Zodiac killer. Ted. No, isn't that his name? I can't remember. He's the dummy that's in from Texas that they all think's the Zodiac killer. I can't remember his name right now. Zodiac killer Ted. I don't remember, but you know who I'm talking about. He's one of the dummy politicians from Texas. They all make fun of and say he's the Zodiac killer. For some reason, his name escapes me. It's probably a good thing, so I won't get parasitically infected from the reptoids. But it's just crazy. But the Batman, supposedly there's a Joker appearance in it, or maybe his voice or something. Or I'm curious who they're going to do for the Joker. They're also doing Colin Farrell's the Penguin in it. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he don't even look like Colin Farrell at all anymore. Looks weird. They're doing a spin-off series of the Penguin with Colin Farrell on HBO. That's going to be about the Penguin and I guess how he rose to power, but it's going to be a separate show. And then here's one that's interesting. They're doing an Arkham Asylum show that's going to be all in the prison and all the villains and tell their backstories. That all takes place in the prison, Arkham Asylum. And supposed to be doing a Dune spinoff show for the new
really?
Dune.
Wow.
I saw that new Dune and it was okay, but I don't know. It wasn't what I expected. I mean, it wasn't bad. Hopefully it gets better with the sequel. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't, I I like the old one better. The David Lynch one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I know you've seen the David Lynch one. I know, right?
Oh yeah.
I need to watch that again sometime. It's Sting and Kyle MacLachlan.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good one. I forget who plays the big fat villain guy, the creepy dude that's the villain. Uh, Let me look it up. I forget who that was. Dune, David Lynch. There's weird other cuts of that where it's long, like the director's cut and stuff. God, it has a 44 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's sad because it's not that bad. Brad Dourif's in it.
Yep.
Let me see who plays that creepy big dude. The Baron. The Baron's doctor. Of course, they have everybody on here. Okay, Kenneth McMillan. No idea who that dude is. Sting was. Oh, Patrick Stewart. Sting was. I can't say that name. Feud Rotha or whatever. Kenneth McMillan was the Baron. What else was he in? He was in Stephen King's The Cat's Eye. I don't remember that. I'm sure he's dead now. This dude. Yeah, 1989. Yeah, I need to check that one out again sometime. I'm wondering what they're going to do. Tim Burton's doing a Wednesday Addams show on Netflix.
Oh yeah. That sounds like it might be fun.
Yeah, that's the dudes that. Let me see who's playing Tim Burton. The guy's playing Gomez has been in a lot of stuff. Gomez, the actor, he's just Louis Guzman is playing Gomez. I know Louis Guzman's been in a lot of different stuff, a lot of weird stuff. I don't know who's playing. I forget. I remember who they said was going to play Morticia, but I forget the name of the lady now. Oh, Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know about that, but it's Tim Burton. Hopefully it works out. And then I forget who's playing the Wednesday. I want to know who's playing Fester. Give me some Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester.
That's all I care about. The rest, who cares? Uncle Fester. You better do it right. That's how you make it. Uncle Fester is the light bulb to it all. The light bulb to everything. But anyway, we tried to do a Bible study class and do the right thing, but it got killed. And then we got bombarded by perverts in chat. I blocked all them. Somebody said let me say, I'm trying to say someone's name right. Tejas, TEJASANTIGUA. Combat veterans say F Russia, Ukraine, and looks like a potato. All communist rats' days are numbered. Someone in chat. I don't know what the potato emote means.
Oh, well, that's probably referring to Stephen Colbert, because it's become this running joke on his show that every reference that he makes to Russia, it has a byline, is potato. And he says it in this Russian accent, and
okay.
it's stupid. It's stupid.
I was wondering what the hell, they making fun of communists in the bread line eating potatoes. I didn't know what was going on. Let's see if I can give Micah another date here. I'll try April 29th to see if he wants to reschedule. I have April 29th open if you want it. Let me know. Thanks. I wanted to hear all that stuff, so it's kind of annoying. But that's how it rolls when you try to do a Bible study show. He even prayed for the storm not to take out the electricity. And here we have it. It was weird the way he kept cutting out. That's why I was wondering if maybe it was an internet problem on his end. Something like that. There's a show, Leak Project. They have a lot of good guests on YouTube. Let me see who he just had on. I know he's had this guy on before. He had Michael Cremo on. That dude's been around for a long time. David Du Bois. I don't really know who that is. Wes Roberts. I know Micah's been on there. There's old La Marzulli talking about physical evidence of giants. Archon parasites. There's Navajo Secrets of the Skinwalker. I meant to listen to that. I wonder who that dude is. Cody and Colin Dayish. Need to save that so I can. Some reason I keep getting kicked off YouTube channels, unsubscribe. I have to keep resubscribing every time I go to them. It's weird. I don't know if it's some technical thing. Oh, this guy that's talked about potato just said Joe Potato. He called Joe a potato.
Hey, Joe, you're a potato.
Joe Montaldo is a potato. Talking about Joe Montaldo? He is a potato. He's a potato.
But there's more of these dirty places.
Yeah, I had to block them again. God.
It's amazing.
It's disgusting. It's worse than Facebook.
It's just weird.
It's worse than Facebook. All right, everybody. Well, hopefully I changed I don't know if this went through, but I changed the title to the show away from the Micah thing, or maybe still the Micah one. I don't know, but either way, who cares? We'll try to get him back sometime. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Wham. And everybody have a good weekend. See you next Friday. Stay out of trouble.
We'll try.
And remember what happens when we try to do a Bible study class. We'll see April 29th if he takes it. If so, I'll let you know. And I wanted to see the presentation.
I did too.
I wanted to hear Capricorn secrets. So, all right, everybody. Have a good one. Good night.
Good night.